You stepped into a large storeroom of the Rubble and Crew Fun Center and found your manager, Clara, holding a huge brown bag. It was hard to make out beyond that with the awkward way she was holding it. Curiously, all the various supplies and equipment normally strewn around the room were shoved off to the side, leaving a wide open space in the middle of the room occupied merely by Clara and her floppy item. She perked up and smiled at you.
Hey, glad you're willing to help out.
Of course I am.
You insisted, and it was the truth. You loved working at the Rubble and Crew Fun Center.
But I'm not sure what exactly I'm helping out with here.
You said as you scratched the back of your head, stepping closer.
This.
What is that?
The new Mascot suit, of course.
The what now?
The higher-ups are saying kids aren't really that engaged here these days, so they think if Rubble himself would be around to offer hugs and construction facts together, they'd have a better time and want to come back. I mentioned that since you've already got the bouncy energy and the fact-filled head for a job like this, you'd be a perfect fit. That is, if you want to.
She nodded her head at you. You had to restrain yourself from shouting for joy.
Me? You want me to? I would love to.
You stepped up closer, readily accepting the rubber costume as she held it out to you. Wasting no time, you searched over its surface for the zipper in its back, tugged it down, and stepped inside. It was a snug fit, though once your legs were properly inside, you found the suit fit almost too well. After stuffing your head and arms in, Clara zipped up your back, only confirming your hypothesis. Outwardly, the suit was still awfully droopy and baggy, but the inner layer softly and snugly covered your whole body.
Does it fit okay?
Wow, it's absolutely perfect. I really love Rubble.
You responded with glee. You nearly caught her smirking as she took an air compressor off the shelf, carrying it in both arms back to you. She proceeded to set the hefty device on the floor, plugs it in, stuffs the hose into the valve on the underside of Rubble's tail, and turns on the pump. The whir of the compressor and the hiss of flowing air filled your ears as the suit swelled around you. You were glad to be in costume now, allowing your incredibly heavy blush to go unnoticed. With each passing moment, the costume approached the shape of the mascot you'd seen nearly every day the past couple of years, an anthropomorphic cartoon bulldog, quite heavy-set and with a wide smile, with a plush figure and an open posture that just begged to be hugged. Sure enough, you could feel your belly grow with softly squeaking paw-covered hands, swelling until it was nearly too big to reach around. Meanwhile, the footpaws blew up until you stood on a bouncy cushion of air, and the suit's head swelled into a cartoony grinning snout with full cheeks. You felt over the suit, marveling at its squishy puffiness while Clara continued to let the suit expand until the rubber outside was taut and you felt as though you had balloons pressed against every inch of your body.
Ah, you look perfect, Rubble.
Oh, thank you so much, miss.
You got right into your role, putting on a boisterous voice to match your new girth and cheerful expression.
I can't wait to meet all of our guests. See, I was told I also had to give you lessons on how to act like Rubble, but looks like you're a natural. That'll be your shift for the day, so go get 'em.
Yeah, will do, Miss Clara.
With a hefty laugh, Rubble waddled right out the door. Well, once you squeezed through the frame, at least. The following several hours were some of the best of your life. Fun Center patrons young and old were delighted by the huggable bulldog wandering around, and just as many were enraptured by your lessons on all the construction vehicles and teamwork tips you had dutifully studied. The only breaks in your bliss came when you remembered that you would have to take the suit off at the end of the day, but with any luck, you'd be right back in the next day. But time inevitably passed and the Fun Center inevitably closed for the day, so after you waved goodbye to the last of the guests, you dragged your paws back to the storeroom to take the suit off. On the way, you met up with Clara, who somehow looked even more happy than Rubble.
You You did amazing. I actually didn't have time for all the parents talking about you, and how they'd promised to be back. Just because their kids wanted to spend more time with Rubble.
That brought up your spirits in a heartbeat.
Oh, really? I'm so glad, and I love being Rubble. So really, I'd be happy to do this every day.
Really, every day?
Clara glanced at you, looking mildly surprised.
Of course, this was like literally the best day ever for me.
I see.
She smirked something evil. You felt a twang of anxiety.
What is it, Clara?
The higher-ups told me to look for someone who felt that way.
Huh, why?
Easy. Just gotta do a little something first.
She suddenly reached up between the costume's shoulders, feeling for the top of the zipper. Then she tugged down, and your heart sank. You thought it was time for you to get out. But as she tugged the zipper, you heard not a zipping sound, but a peeling sound. You felt a bit of vertigo, and when it passed, your perspective seemed different somehow. Then Clara stepped out in front of you, still smirking. Somehow, she was holding the zipper to the suit. Shocked, you tried to feel behind yourself. You could just barely reach the middle of the suit's back, but despite your searching, you couldn't feel the zipper. Had she really just pulled it off? How? It suddenly dawned on you that you could feel the back of the suit otherwise.
I made you Rubble, forever.
Clara replied. You let out a guffaw, quite intentionally slipping back into your Rubble persona. She giggled, taking the hefty bulldog's wide paw in both her hands.
All right. Come along now, Rubble. We've already got a room set aside for you. And yes, this was all planned out.
Then, you waddled and bounced after your manager with a new spring in your step and a lightness in your heart as you listened about the very real though oddly specific magic that had been discovered. You were flattered that they had used it on you first, but you tried not to let it get to your head after all. You had a big day tomorrow, and plenty of new folks to teach the wonders of being Rubble.